This week, Hulk Age of Monsters, written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson, art by Nick Klein and Travel Foreman. Okay, let's talk Hulk. Phillip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein's current Hulk run is already shaping up to be one of the best Hulk runs of all time, and we only just got our first trade paperback. I think in order to understand what makes this so good, we need some context, which means this is probably going to be a two-part video. For several years, Al Ewing, who is one of the preeminent comic book legends, in my opinion, graced Hulk fans with the Immortal Hulk. We are almost certainly going to do a deep dive on this in the near future. It is inevitable. Thanos snap! Why did he say his own name like that? Is he a fucking Pokemon? Immortal Hulk ran for 50 issues, including event tie-ins, spin-offs. Please bring them back, I love them. It was a series that effortlessly expanded upon the psychology and grotesque physiology of the Hulk and Bruce Banner, while still managing to weave in nostalgic characters and references to past Hulk issues, all with this amazing pulp horror aesthetic. More than anything, it pushed the boundaries of what a Hulk comic could be. The longevity of Immortal Hulk, coupled with its explicit horror imagery and adult themes, introduced Hulk to a whole new pantheon of readers. I mean, I personally know people who never in their life wanted to read a Hulk comic, but then they read Immortal Hulk. Okay, I'm rambling now, but what I'm trying to say is that Immortal Hulk was the kind of series that could have ended Hulk comics forever. It could have been the end, and the majority of comic book fans would have been okay with it. Oh, Hulk's over now? Yeah, that was the right decision. Yeah, I mean, what else could you possibly do? Of course, that didn't happen, because that's not how Marvel Comics functions or got to where it is today. And the title was then passed on to Donny Cates and Ryan Ottley, two other prolific figures in the world of comics. However, this run was fraught by a couple things. The first being personal incidents and struggles from Donny Cates that I still don't fully comprehend, so I'm not going to touch on that. The second issue is something that a lot of number ones struggle with, i.e. the next writer in an ongoing series taking over, which is too much new, too soon. This is speculative, but I think supported by a lot of discourse online over the last year, but the decision to take the ending of Immortal Hulk and transition into this far-flung sci-fi adventure alienated a lot of new fans from the series. There's certainly precedent for this kind of transition in Hulk comics. If you look at Hulk comics from the 60s and 70s, they vacillated between superhero-centric villains of the week to fantasy adventure to experimental new pulp sci-fi. You know that classic Hulk reviews are coming in the future too. A lot of fans of Immortal Hulk didn't want to abandon the body horror-centric character ensemble piece that they had been following for years. So after all that, what makes Hulk Age of Monsters so exciting? Can you read that? Can you read that? That's right, it doubles down on everything that Ewing established in Immortal Hulk, diving deeper into psychological and cosmic horror, exploring the complexity of Hulk as an anti-hero, as a force for change and destruction that is inherent within this world, whether we like it or not. Just as Hulk and Bruce will forever grapple with their intertwined fates. Johnson begins his story where the Hulk is served best, on the road, alone, set at odds against the strange underbelly of the world. But the Hulk's isolation is short-lived as he soon sees himself become the guardian of a wayward teen who idolizes the Hulk's untethered rage and strength. But they will soon learn, as we have, just how hard it is to be the Hulk. The driving force hounding the Hulk and his new ward in the series is the Mother of Horrors, and her servant, or perhaps her avatar, the Eldest. These forces will stop at nothing to regain control of the Hulk, who they refer to as the wayward son who wastes the godflesh he wears. The conceit of this story seems to stem from the One Below All, which was the overarching antagonist of Immortal Hulk, but with a decidedly more Lovecraftian interpolation, which as a fan was definitely the logical narrative leap that I wanted to see explored. Woo! Okay, this video is getting way too long, so if you want to deep dive into the pages of Hulk Age of Monsters, go ahead and watch part 2. I said I was never going to be a follow for part 2 person. What the fuck am I doing?